All right, it's 8 o'clock. Let's call the Water and Light Commission meeting of February 21st of 2024 to order, please. Please call roll.
Commissioner Grindy?
Yes.
Commissioner Beauchamp?
Yes.
Commissioner Quirk?
Yes.
Commissioner Riopel?
Here.
Approved minutes from previous meeting, February 7th, 2024.
So moved.
I'll second.
Please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Beauchamp?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Bills and payroll.
I'll move.
Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Beauchamp?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
From the public. All right, reports. Todd.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Much shorter report than last meeting, so this won't take too long. It's not that I haven't been doing anything. On our 2024 miscellaneous project, I did meet with Todd, Tyler, and the rest of the guys at Water and Light. Went over the projects that we had laid out. Made a few tweaks and changes and betterments, so we're working on getting those changes incorporated into our documents. And then once we get that done, we'll compile them all together and get a potential list of material that we need, and then we'll go over that and get that part of that done. So hoping to have that done by the end of the week, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I'm working on a couple of estimates. One for Crystal Sugar for their potential secondary beat freeze primary metering, and one for Folsom Farms for potential new service. So also working on map updates and any of the other miscellaneous stuff that comes up. So that's pretty much all I have, unless there's questions.
And for Mr. Forrester.
No, sir.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Come on up, big guy.
Morning.
Morning, Steve.
Well, I got a really short report here. So,
Well, you haven't been here for a month. We thought you'd have something for us.
2022 water main replacement. I did receive finally here the IC 134 forms from Tigard Contracting and his subcontractors. So we will be submitting a final payment application and releasing retainage on that project. So that one should be done. And then the soda ash project, we did receive a change order request for some electrical changes that Brian and I are going to be reviewing here today. We're going to go out to the plant, take a look at it. Most of it is the control panel, where we had showed it kind of sitting in the initial plan, is we relocated the control panel over to a wall and probably required some additional conduits, wires, that type of stuff. So we're going to review again the change order request, and we'll, once we're good with the number, we'll put together a change order and submit that to you guys for final approval. But that is what I have.
Anything for Steve? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City Attorney, Mr. Gallstad.
Good morning. Not much to report. I still have a couple of projects that I'm working on for Keith. Got a little bit sidetracked. I had a couple of fires that I had to put out in the last couple of weeks and didn't quite get to it. So I plan on having finalized here for the next meeting. So if there's any questions for me, just let me know.
Gallstad. Thank you, Ron.
No, thank you, sir.
No, thank you, sir. Old business, nothing. 2023 accounts for charge off.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is something that we do annually at the second meeting in February. I believe Kristen passed around kind of some more information, but yeah, total city charges $12,773. Total water and electric charges $14,821. And then, charges that we had previously turned over for collections and then recouped this last year, $11,733, and then paid $4,581 in collection fees. Better than last year for sure. Every year we're working, the girls are working hard on getting that number lower and lower. Over COVID, it was challenging, but there was also a lot of additional assistance. So, I don't know if that was necessarily a factor, but the last couple of years have been higher, and so hopefully we're going to keep seeing a downward trend on that. And unless there's any questions related to that, I recommend Water and Light Commission to approve and sign 2023 accounts for charge-off.
I would just like to mention that as many years as I've been involved with the charge-offs, I have to thank the staff for their diligent work, because this is very low compared to what it used to be years ago. So, good job. And I'll move to approve it.
Second.
Thank you. Please call roll.
Grandy,
Yes.
Bochamp.
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you.
Disputed energy resource interconnection and annual filing.
And that's exactly what it is. So in February of 2018, the Water and Light Commission adopted a distributed energy resource interconnection policy and rules. I think you all probably recall that. Tim was probably not, you weren't here then, but so it's an annual process. The rules require that Water and Light Department annually provide average wholesale and retail cost rates and report any qualifying facilities served or not served under the utility energy rates provided. And you have the information in front of you. There's 2 sheets that we file in some in some folders at the office downstairs, and we do this annually. And so we're also to report if we have any qualifying facilities, which at this time we have no qualifying facilities report at this time. And so where we're at is I recommend Water and Light Commission accept the updated as presented, instruct staff to file the DERI booklet at the Water and Light Department office, publish that the Water and Light Department is obligated to interconnect with and purchase electricity from co-generators and small power producers. So it's just an annual thing that we're required to do by March 1st. So
Move.
Second.
Please call roll.
Grandy,
Yes.
Bochamp.
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
yes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Todd.
Morning. Got a
Morning.
pretty short report here today since the last meeting. Water crews have been working on changing out some of the 3- and 4-inch water meters at some of the schools and other businesses, so we're continuing to get those in. The crews are out working, trimming trees around the street lights yet, so we're getting that trimmed up before it gets warm out here. Budding out. And as Todd mentioned, we're working on the new circuits 4 and 5 coming in from Industrial Park. Might have a couple changes there. We'll get that ahead of time and making sure that we have the material in line for that, so that job goes along smooth. Some of the materials that we ordered up, the wire has, some of that showed up, and our big order will be coming in right around March with all the reels of the 500 MCM. We do have annual safety meetings every month with MMUA. This time was a little bit different. We had one of the police officers in there with us for the de-escalating some high-stress situations. So that was a little different, but it was a good meeting. And then we had a couple of eyewash stations that have been kind of out of service at the DSC for quite some time, and we were able to spoke with Brian a little bit, and we were able to take those apart and get them cleaned up, so we have those back in service. One other thing that Todd mentioned, Folsom Farms. It's like they're going to put a new addition in there for another possible good-sized spud warehouse there, so we'll have some additional load. And visited with Steve a little bit about the water there, getting that hooked up. And then also, as Todd said, working with Crystal for possible, and talking about putting another additional fan load on out there, so we're going through that. And then we'll talking with Minn Kota for our scheduling to get our load tap changer controllers filters installed, so we want to be able to do that when Crystal is down, so kind of waiting to hear back from them. But other than that, that's about all I have.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Brian.
Yep.
Good morning.
Morning, Brian.
So first off, I'd just like to mention we've been dealing with some runoff already this year. The last couple of weeks we're seeing high turbidities and a lot of organics coming in, so we've had to make some adjustments chemical-wise for that and to account for that. So, and with the warm weather being forecast, you know, for next week, we could see an early spring and runoff season. Last week, I completed and certified the Tier 2 Hazardous Chemical Inventory report, and that's for the Department of Homeland Security. I've also been working with Marn and Jordan on the DNR Water Conservation Report. And then last week we had a couple of quarterly maintenance inspections, one with Tyson Krupp for our elevator, and the other one with Absolute Refrigeration on our carbon dioxide storage silo and the compressor. And then today, Integrated Process Solutions is scheduled to be at the plant. That's earlier or later this morning, excuse me, and they're going to be there to do their quarterly service, and then we're going to be working on integrating the new soda ash feeder as well with the SCADA. And then I guess lastly, coming up on March 1st, we have a LAWA board meeting coming up. So, but other than that, that's all I have, unless there's questions.
Yep.
Brian.
I have a question, Brian. Have you seen any, I guess, long-range reports yet on what the water flow is going to look like? Are we in for low water this year, or I know we're still in winter,
but I guess I've only seen one flood forecast so far, and I think they were predicting 31 feet here in town. You know, so that's a pretty low crest, you know, considering flood stage is considered 28. So I think they're predicting pretty low crest.
And
unless we're to get, you know, more rain or snow, but nothing in the near future.
yeah.
We know we're not done yet.
No, probably not. Thank you.
Thank you. Brianna.
Nothing else this question.
Carla.
Nothing unless you have questions.
Jordan.
Morning.
Morning.
Looking at the rebates here, I've got 4 residential. I've been getting a few more calls and questions about window replacement. So our February web and radio ads run that weatherization ad, so it kind of coincides with that. We do that twice a year, so it's kind of the perfect time to start asking those questions. Besides the 4 residential rebates we have here, I've got 2 commercials. We finally got the Sanford Main Clinic taken care of. I got the approval to pay that from Eagle Electric. And that was all exterior, so that would have been the parking lot pole lights, the soffit, and the canopy. That all went from metal halide to LEDs, so that's a pretty good upgrade there. And I'm still waiting on approval to pay out the other location. We're just waiting on a few things from them. And then we have the American Crystal Sugar. This is going to be back from 2021, the Q3 and Q4. And that is going to be 4 different size VFDs and then lighting throughout those 2 quarters. So we finally have that paid out, and then our engineer from Frontier is working on calculating everything current, so we'll probably pay those out quarterly. Other than that, like Brian said, we've been working on just a lot of annual reports. It's that season again, so I know I just finished the Green Step survey. That just kind of goes over how the 2023 program went and what sort of upgrades we would want to see for this year. And I know we haven't made any significant progress on that since probably June of 2020, so hoping to reach out to their coordinator and try to make some progress with them. So it's always a good program. Yesterday I did receive the date for our MMPA South Point event, where we go over to the elementary school and just kind of give a demonstration on electricity. So that'll be, I think that'll be the middle of March. So it's a good event to do. And then there will be no Builders Expo this year. They'll continue that in 2025. So with that, I'll probably seek out more education events or things we can do locally just to kind of replace that. And then I've just been working with Matt over at Frontier quite a bit over the last 2 weeks. We met for about an hour last Wednesday and just kind of went over EUI, what qualifies, low-income spending goals, some ideas for that for this year, and just kind of went over just our general goals for the year. Is there any questions on anything at all today?
Yep, I have a question. Since COVID, prices of everything have gone sky high. So I'm just wondering, have you done an audit or looked at where we are in line with our rebates? Are we a little low? Should we be raising some of this a little bit because of the cost of some of the winterization stuff for residential or anything like that?
So I did look at some of the neighboring communities in Minnesota back about October and kind of did a comparison of what other municipal utilities offer, and we do seem fairly competitive. The only suggestion I heard from Matt, just looking over those, is maybe increasing the air source heat pumps, what we offer on those, just to have more of an incentive for people to upgrade to that. But as far as most of our appliances are very competitive.
Okay. I like to be competitive, but I also, if we are going to offer a rebate program, we need to make it worth our while, so our people take advantage of it. So that's all I'm.
Absolutely. And I can definitely look at that again here too.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Corey.
Nothing else is question.
Mr. Keith.
So, got a couple items here. We're still waiting on the DSC to final out the roofing project. Hopefully that's going to be fairly soon.
Yeah, that's scheduled.
Okay, so that has been scheduled. Renewable energy project, I was at the MMPA board meeting yesterday, and so update on that as it continues to move along. They've hired an engineer, so now they're going to do the final evaluations, and I guess I'm optimistic, and we'll find out in a couple months. So that's moving along. Water treatment plant operator, the internal posting closed, I think, last week. There were no applicants for that position, so now Terry's posted it externally, and we adjusted the date a bit to 3/15 as the closing date instead of 3/11. Terry moved it out a few days, and so we did that. So hopefully if we get some qualified candidates, we'll probably have someone hired by first part of April, is the hope there. I'm leaving for DC for the APPA rally. I'm leaving Saturday afternoon, come back Thursday morning, and so I'll be back in the office Friday of a week from this Friday. And so that's what I have.
Questions for Keith?
No,
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Commissioner reports, anything?
nothing.
No,
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Grindy,
Yes.
Beauchamp,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep. See you in a couple weeks.
See you later, Crocodile Dundee.
Yep.